sheep midwife. So this shed here is our main lambing shed. So everything that's due to lamb pretty soon, we bring over into this shed. We do have other sheds over at another farm, and we also have other sheds on this farm, but this is the main lambing shed. It's got the nice passage in the middle. So when the sheep starts to lamb, they'll have their lambs, and then we usually pull them into the passage, let them get a good start at life. They get some colostrum, and then we'll take them over to another shed and pen them up. So for us, lambing season starts around about the 15th of March. We start lambing at about the same time every single year. That works well for us. Yeah, it's dependent on when you put your tups out. For people that don't know what a tup is, it's a male sheep, also known as a ram. We're the first to lamb in the valley, in the Rulwater Valley. Some people lamb a lot later, so if they've got hill sheep, they lamb usually more into April and then into the kind of beginning of May, because they're lambing outside, so they want the weather to be a bit warmer, a bit drier. Whereas all our sheep, they're all lambing indoors, and then once their lambs are 1 or 2 days old, then we put them out into the field so we can lamb a little bit earlier. So we have the same kind of sheep every year. We have Scotch mules, Hexham type Scotch mules, which we buy in, and then we put them to a Suffolk tup, and we get a Suffolk cross ewe out of that. And then we keep the Suffolk ewes as replacements, and then we tup them with a Texel, and we get a nice Texel cross lamb out. So two breeds of sheep we've got here. Borders is quite a vast range of different kinds of sheep, and again, it depends on what kind of farm they have. If they've got a hill sheep farm, it's mainly Scottish Blackface or Cheviots. And then a kind of more other popular breeds would be these kind of mule types. The Suffolk crosses, Texel crosses, Cheviot mules. Yeah, there's lots of different breeds, and a lot of people have kind of rare breeds as well. So yeah, lots of different sheep in the Borders. At tupping time, when the tups go out, they get given a colour block, and that colour block represents the week that they were tupped on. So then when it gets to this time of year, we know which ones are due to lamb in the first week, second week, third week, and it works kind of like that. So we can move them over in terms of their due date. When they're in here and they start to lamb, we're obviously keeping an eye on them 24/7 at this time of year. And we are looking for them. Basically, their water's breaking, just like a human. But usually the sheep starts to shout a lot. You can see quite a bit of discomfort, and that is usually good signs of them lambing. Full-time night lammer at the moment, so he does our nights for us. And then we have a full-time day lammer, and then my dad and my brother are also full-time during the day, and I just fit in where I can. When I'm not distilling, yeah. I think lambing time is definitely one of my favourite times of year, obviously because it's, I think it's the start of the year in a way as well, and it's the start of spring. The daffodils are out. Sometimes the weather's nice, not today. It's a nice time having little baby lambs born, and it's the start of their life. They're outside in the field, enjoying themselves, being really well looked after. So it's an all-round nice time of year. She's not shouting everything because she's lambing, is she? Yeah, she is. Yeah, so like I said, when they start to lamb, they start to be quite unsettled. They start to shout. Exactly what we've got going on here with this sheep. She is bleating away. And if she would turn around, but she's not going to, you would see that she has a water bag hanging from the back. So she has now started to lamb. She's having one, so we can tell because she's got a red spot in the middle of her back here. So she's going to have one lamb. And if she's got a good supply of milk, she will get another one. So she will have what we call a set on, an adoption. So another sheep that's had 3, we like them to go out with 2. We will set another one on, and she will then have 2. They adopt them with a bit of magic. Just check and see if there's anything lambing at the moment and needs any immediate care. But I think we're good. It's all quiet on the Western Front for now. Horrible day. It's pretty typical, yeah. It's not a very nice lambing day. It's not nice to put lambs out when it's wet like this. So we usually keep them in a bit longer and we'll wait until it's dried up a bit. That way the lambs get a good start at life. Just over a week and a half ago, I think we got the first one. So we're lambing about 800 altogether. So I think we're about the third of a way through now. So it's been pretty busy. A typical day looks like, so everybody's kind of got their jobs. Now that there's sheep and lambs out in the fields, my dad, he goes round and he feeds them in the fields. My brother will come over here and they have a changeover between the night shift and the day shift. So he'll come over, see what jobs need done. George, our day lammer, he looks after the shed, looks after everything that's already lambed. And there's lots of jobs that need done through the day. We need to keep all the pens clean. We need to look after lambs that are not quite so strong. Any sheep that are lambing that need some help, we need to help them out. We actively have to put the sheep and the lambs out into the field. So we take them out in batches of 6. So that takes quite a bit of the day up as well. So there's always something to do in a lambing shed. It never ends. Busy. Definitely busy, but rewarding. Give me 2 words. Give me 2 words. Wakey, wakey. Here we go. So it's just barely a day old. Quite a big lamb, actually. So it's got a yellow belly because when they're born, their umbilical cord, we spray it with iodine, and that stops any bacteria going up their umbilical cord and making them unwell. This is a little boy. Hey, and they're lovely. So it's come from a Suffolk mother and its dad would have been a Texel. So it's a little cross lamb and it'll grow up to be big and strong. Hey? Yeah. Not happy that I woke it up from its nice sleep. And its mum knows that I stole it. She's a good mum. Hey. Some of them lack maternal thoughts to begin with, especially sheep that are lambing for the first time. They can be a little bit skeptical. They can be a little bit like, what on earth is going on? But they come round. They come round to the idea. And as they get older and they've done it a few times, they're really good mothers. They do a really good job of looking after their lambs. Why is farming important to the Borders? I think it is a very agriculture rich area. Not just sheep farming, but beef farming, arable farming. You know, we've got beautiful landscapes, beautiful land that's home to many different farms. I think it's just a really beautiful place, to be honest. It's very distinct landscape, you know, the rolling hills of the Borders, I guess. Yeah. Nice place to live. Somebody that's never experienced lambing, what would surprise them? Probably how much work it is. It takes a village to get everything done. You know, I listed before the different jobs that go out through the day, but you know, everybody thinks it's all sunshine and roses all the time, but you know, you face the problems of the day as well, and you've got to be patient, you've got to be proactive, always kind of thinking ahead. And when you've got a team of people, you all really have to work together to make it as smooth as possible. And even then, things can go wrong. But yeah, it's busy. But it's a good kind of busy. Okay, so just checking back in on her. She's not close. Well, she is close, but not seeing any feet yet. So usually when we start to see the feet poke out, it's a good indication. But equally, the lambs inside, well, in this case, the lamb could be going the wrong way, or the feet could be back and the head coming forward, in which we would need to intervene because we would need to bring the legs forward. So, well, she's not long started, so we'll not worry about it too much. We have another one. She's having 2. So we can tell the age of our sheep by their tags. So we breed these Suffolks ourselves. So we obviously give them their tags, and so that's how we know the age. The grey face, we don't really go by tags. Go by teeth. How many teeth they have left. There's 800. That'd be too many to them. But if I get any pet lambs, little orphan lambs, then often they get a name. I had a lamb last year. He was a right character. He just used to like roam about, and he was called Kipper. I named him after Rip from Yellowstone. So they eat hay. So we produce this ourselves on the farm. So we let the grass grow, and then we cut it, and then we let it lie in the field, and it dries out, and it produces hay. They also get cake, not the same kind of cake that we eat. We call it cake, but I'll show you. Follow me. So they get fed these. We call it cake, but it's, you know, they're I guess they could also be called nuts, packed full of goodness for the sheep, and they absolutely love it. They love it. Once they've lambed and they go out to the field, they eat the grass all summer long until they go back into the shed in December time. So yeah, they have a nice long summer of luscious green grass. Hey. So this has a grey-faced mother, and it's been put to a Suffolk tup, so it's a Suffolk cross lamb. It's a little boy. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't like, you don't like that I've stolen your lamb, do you? You're a good mother. Good mother. Yeah, stamp their feet because they're quite protective of their lambs, so she's basically telling you to go away. This was born probably within the hour. It's still wet pretty quickly. A lot of them, you know, they come out and they're, you know, 10 minutes up and about, and they're, you know, the lamb's natural instinct is to go searching for milk, so they're usually up pretty quick. So when we're walking around the shed, we want to make sure that the lambs are thriving, want to make sure that they've had colostrum, so that's the first milk that provides them with antibodies. It stops them from getting things like watery mouth, up on their feet, full bellies. Make sure that the sheep isn't lying on their lambs. Sometimes they decide to do that. Yeah, make sure that the sheep's healthy because she's got to go out and look after her lambs all summer. But yeah, you want healthy lambs and healthy sheep. These ones have got numbers because they are getting ready to go out to the field. So when we put them out to the fields, because our fields all border each other, they get a number and they get a certain colour. And then fields next door to each other will have a different colour, so that if a lamb gets through the fence, we know that it doesn't belong in that field, it's from this one. We don't usually mark it on the sheep, but this particular sheep is a first-time lammer. So when my brother or dad takes it out to the field, she might just run away. So it makes mothering them up a little bit easier. We can match the lambs to her. When the sheep are a bit older, their first instinct is to usually look for their lambs, whereas younger sheep, their first instinct is often to fill their bellies with grass. So that is the numbering. The mothering instinct is there. They just sometimes need reminded of it. The best thing about growing up on a farm, all of it. Best childhood ever, to be honest. You know, being involved from a young age, getting to go out and be in the lambing shed, or, you know, getting to bottle feed the lambs is probably one of the first things that I would probably have got taught how to do by my granddad. And then as you get older, you get trusted with more and more. And I guess you grow up with a really good work ethic as well. Definitely not afraid of a bit of hard work. Definitely not afraid of getting your hands dirty. You learn to problem solve from a young age. Everybody's got each other's back. Everybody's aiming for the same thing. And in terms of, you know, for example, neighbours, you know, we're quite lucky in this part of the world, in our little valley. Everybody kind of would help you out if you needed it. So I think that's quite nice. Life on the edge, in terms of the Borders, I think we're really lucky to grow up in a place like the Borders because it's got so much to offer from all different aspects of life. You know, we've got really great agricultural roots. We've got really great industrial roots, great heritage, great communities. It's not actually that big a place. You know, weirdly, you know, you know somebody and they'll know another 5 people that you know. So it's a small place, and yeah, I think it's really strong in its community. Yeah, no, I think we're pretty lucky to grow up in a place like this. I'm trying to get Joe. He doesn't like new people. Yeah, he doesn't like new people. Doesn't like new people. You're all soggy. I've got 1. George has 2, and they sometimes live with us, so I guess 3. All collies. Ken, Jed, and Joe. All characters. You're a little bit shy sometimes. Sure are. You've got a whole summer ahead of you. Nothing better than a collie dog. Eh? Nothing better. The look of love, isn't it? Jed, probably, I think he's 10 years old now. He belongs to George, but he lives with us quite a lot as well. So he's a part of the family, aren't you? Yeah. He's hating me right now because he's watching the sheep and I'm making him stay. Joe will learn from you, won't he? Yes. Well, it's certainly a huge part of life on a farm anyways. You know, they're a key component. You know, they spend their whole life dedicated to working with you, loyal to you, full of love, full of everything, eh? You're very special. Yeah, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Hope you've enjoyed a little insight to lambing, and be sure to follow the Borders Distillery. Woo! Part-time distiller, part-time farmer, yep.